bards are the best class in D&D. Or at least my favorite. I did name my channel after them, and in my eyes, they have qualities that when all thrown together, lift them above other characters. So in this video, I want to prove it. But of course, these are my opinions, and I'd love to hear just how much you disagree in the comments. Okay, here's my argument. If you're going to be the best class in D&D, you need magic. Sorry Marshals, I love playing a beefy barbarian as much as the next guy, but having access to spells is just too fun. Not only are you doing crazy stuff in combat, like blasting people with lightning and summoning dragons, but when you're not busy fighting, there are so many situations where your spells will come in handy. No matter the problem or obstacle, you'll probably have a solution. But here's where bards stand out. They aren't just a spellcaster, they're all the spellcasters, because they get magical secrets. At 10th level, they can start stealing spells from other classes. Revivify, heal, shape change, plane shift. You want them, you got them. That kind of flexibility means high level bards can be whatever you want them to be. If that doesn't get you excited, I don't know what will. One thing I really love about bards is that they aren't just good on their own, they raise up everyone around them. One of the core pieces of the class is bardic inspiration, where they can give out dice as a bonus action to boost their allies' rolls. To me, that's one of the coolest abilities in the game, because it encourages teamwork. Here's how a typical interaction between a paladin player and a rogue might go. Bartholomew's gonna swing his sword, try to hit the dragon, and that's it's only 16, I don't think it's gonna do it. You know what that sounds like? Not my problem. Gregarious is up. I'm gonna jump on the dragon, stab it in the eye, and say, that's for my mother and my father's mother. And then I'm gonna slit it. Hey, I'm gonna leave. Flip on. Terrible. Now, let's replace that rogue with a helpful bard. Wait, my dear paladin. Have you forgotten that my magical musings last turn granted you a boon? This magical D6. Take it, and together we shall venture forth and slay this beast. Oh, thanks, dude. Yeah, I totally forgot. Okay, so that's 6. So that brings it up to a 22. I think it's a hit. Hey, that's awesome. Are you good, dude? Okay, yeah, I guess we're just doing this now. So much better. As a bard, you need to always be invested in what the other players are doing, so you can make sure that inspiration isn't going to waste. And when it helps keep the druid from failing a saving throw, that's a moment that brings you all closer. I honestly wish more classes had built-in abilities that made operating as a team a bigger part of the game, but it's hard to beat what bards have. How about the fact that Wizards of the Coast clearly think bards are the best class? When you buy a player's handbook, which class do you learn about first? Barbarians, technically, but bards are second. That's pretty good. And on that new player's handbook, which class is featured prominently on the cover? Not bards, because why would you spoil the best your game has to offer? It ain't fighters, I'll tell you that. But most obviously, the main character of the official D&D movie is a bard. Let's ignore the fact that wizard is in their company name. This is way more compelling. Is there a best stat in the game? No, but yes, and it's charisma. I'm sure some of you are violently shaking your heads right now, but hear me out. Gameplay in D&D is built on 3 pillars: exploration, combat, and roleplay. While you could argue that certain stats are better for the first 2 than others, like wisdom to help with survival checks or dexterity to dodge all those fireballs, there's no one ability that dominates those parts of D&D. You can use dex or strength for weapon attacks. Investigation and nature can play a big role in exploration. Wisdom saves are as important as dexterity. But you can't really say the same for role-playing. If you're in a tense conversation and need to make a roll, you're probably using persuasion, deception, or intimidation. And wouldn't you know, all of them are charisma-based. This swings role-playing way into the bard's favor, as part of why you choose this class is to be great when the swords get put down and everyone starts using their words. And as the numbers get higher and higher, you get better and better at dealing with social challenges, making allies, and of course, getting deals from every shop and alchemist. I'm not saying you should hog the spotlight. Of course, everyone should get a turn to roleplay, and your DM can find ways to get other skills involved too. But as a bard, you'll be the natural face of the party, the go-to for a whole third of the game. And if you like talking as much as I do, that's a big plus. Why do you think I make YouTube videos? I think this is a good time to address the elephant in the room. We've all heard of the horny bard, the player who tries to seduce every NPC, dragon, and curvy rock they come across. The idea that this represents your average bard player has kind of tanked the class's reputation for years. But I think people need to keep in mind that bards are far from the only class that have a type. Have we forgotten about edgy rogues? Their parents are dead, and so are their social skills. How about dumb barbarians? Even at level 1, their HP is higher than their IQ. Old-ass wizards, that is the technical term, when you want to play Gandalf without being Gandalf. Or finally, the paladin who technically has an oath so they can do cool stuff, but the player ignores it the whole time, so you try to take away their powers as a fun roleplay moment, but now they're mad, and you have to give them a holy avenger so they'll talk to you again, and the game balance is ruined. Obviously, we all know that one. In short, every class has their stereotypes, so please don't judge the bard by theirs. But how do bards hold up when they can't rely on magic or pure charisma to get them everywhere? Very well, actually, because they're kind of good at everything. At just level 2, they're given the ability Jack of all trades, which adds half of their proficiency bonus to any skill check they aren't already proficient in. So even things they're supposed to be not great at get boosted. And on top of that, they're one of the few classes who get expertise, doubling their proficiency bonus for a couple stats. So good luck when your party bard uses their plus 12 to deception to swindle a magic item, and then succeeds on a hard arcana check to figure out what it does despite their 8 in intelligence. Some might argue that failure is fun, and having a class that gets all of its weaknesses bolstered for free isn't really in the spirit of the game. Those people play rangers. But beyond all the mechanics, on a personal level, I've always loved the idea of being able to sing and play music for a cheering crowd, but I've never had the talent or dedication to actually, do it. So yes, pretending to be a big strong guy is fun, and sure, if I sell my soul in real life, I don't get magic powers, just a job with Amazon. But for my money, bards let me live out a fantasy I've dreamed of since I was a kid, and that's always going to be a big part of why I think they're the best class in the game. And at the end of the day, isn't which classes let you be the hero you always wanted to be more important than any stats or abilities? No, of course not. That's why I saved the best for last. Bards are gods of life and death. In the new player's handbook, they always have power word heal and power word kill ready to go once they reach level 20. And as long as they're within 10 feet of each other, they can hit 2 people with the spell. Oh, I can't persuade the king to give me their castle? I'll just drop his ass instead and take it. God has a new face, and it's Chris Pine. That's why I think bards are the best class in the game, but each one offers such a unique experience that everyone will have their favorites. So I'd love to hear yours in the comments. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, leaving a like is always appreciated. If you want to see more, you should subscribe to the Bards College, where I do talk about more than just that one class. I make videos all about D&D, DMing, and everything in between, so there's more to come. But for now, good luck, and remember, crit your players.